drink pine and ginger. And one make for wine, but nothing I'm gonna play it out. I'm after rum and out of sorrow. Just imagine going sorrow. I guess I'm gonna care about tomorrow.
You know what it was when you signed up? That way. Yeah, that my bitch too foreign in the visa. I don't need her. Pull a drop top with an eater. Two-seater. New bitch wanna fuck in my AP. New freezer. I woke up thinking about bands. Hop off a jet to a check when I land. My bitch too foreign in.
Happy Women's International Day!
Hey guys, I'm back with another YouTube video, and today I will be doing a story time. It is the story time of my first fight, so stay tuned guys. So guys, before we get into today's video, I'm gonna need y'all to like and subscribe and stay tuned for the end because I have a surprise also. So today is my first story time. It'll be my first fight and I try to remember as much information as I can so I can make y'all understand, but let's get into the video. So I was about 12 or 13. So I was 12 years old and I was in Form 1, which is grade 7. So I remember like everybody was becoming friends and what's not, and everybody was meeting new people and what's not because we just switched over from primary school. So we were all like getting to know each other and what's not. Like at this point we were in second term, so I think that most of us already, we started getting our cliques, we started getting like hanging with who we vibe with the most. I think at that point most of us knew our friends. Like we were still meeting new people, but like we already set how we were and what's not. So I was with a group of my friends, a group of 3 girls, and well, all of us weren't in the same class, but like second term opens and there's this buzz going around the school that there's a new girl. Well, like that's probably like midway between second term. Like second term was about to finish, like going into third term, so it was like mid of second term, and we were all like, there was this buzz going around, there's a new girl coming and what's not. Nobody knew her anything, but we're just hearing stories and what's not. And we're hearing that that girl, she got in a fight at her previous school and somebody apparently threw a chair in her face or something like that. So like now she's moving from that school to come to our school. So now this is about 2 weeks later, she arrives. She like comes to school because I guess she went away before she came to our school. She went away and then she came back. So when she came to our school now, I remember they were like, she's in our class. So like I have no problem or anything, but then like when I went into the class, I was just like, her spirit, just as soon as I saw her, like her spirit just did not take mine. Like I mean, I didn't take her spirit. Like I could already see that we wouldn't be friends or anything. So I was chill and what's not. She kind of gave me like a stink eye and I gave her back a stink eye as soon as we reached in the class. But like instant beef as soon as I saw her. Like I don't know why, but like that's the first person I've ever looked at and I was just like, I don't like her. But like no problems being started, we just went on with our lives and what's not. So we used to go to music class and so on. Like this girl was beefing with me, like from the time she came, we were just beefing. Like she found most of us on Facebook and she added us or whatever, and she would message everybody and what's not. But me and her really didn't talk. Like I had on Facebook what we wouldn't talk. So it was like when she first came, like let me tell y'all, right? Sis me love man. Like when I tell y'all, like she liked a lot of guys. Like she was in first form and like the guy she was talking to was way older. So that's how we thought. Like at that point we were like, she likes a lot of guys. So we created this list in class and we had everybody's nickname on it. Like people we had people like, okay, so we had like pretty girl 123, them sort of nicknames and so on. We call you smile a lot. There's one that the singer in the class, all those type of nicknames we gave them. But then when it came to her name, okay, so let's give her the name Candy. Let's say her name is Candy. And like when it came to her name on the list, we put her name as Horse R Us. So this is where it all went downhill actually. This is where the beef like intensified. Like, okay, let me give this other girl a name. Say Anna now. So Anna was like the person in the class who instigated like all the drama at that point. Like Anna knew who didn't like each other and she like tried to start up problems. So like Candy, like me and Candy never really crossed paths, but we just didn't like each other. But like we used to have music class, and this is how music class was. This is our classroom, and then music class is in another class, a separate class for itself. So like we'd have music class in that separate classroom, so we'd always have to leave class and go to music and what's not. So Anna, apparently one of the days, Anna used to be like the music person in our class, so she'd be always the first person to go to music. This day she came back down and she was like, oh, we don't have class. We know we have class, but class would be like class would be 50 minutes late, so we're not supposed to go now. We'll go later on during the period. Like we'd go later down into class. So I was like, okay, whatever. Everybody's there talking and what's not, because usually when there's no class, we just get into our groups and we talk and what's not. This day, everybody was like getting into their groups and what's not, talking and vibing or whatever. We had the list. Like I personally had the list on me, and here was the problem, is that I was looking for the list and I couldn't find it at all. So I was just like, okay, I know I had this list stapled, because we had like a book, like we had a bad book, like we did all our bad deeds in that book. Every conversation we had, we passed them across the class and speak in that book. Like nobody could have gotten that book, and the paper was stapled in that book. So I was just like, okay, I can't find the book, something is wrong. So I went to my friend and I was like, did you see the list or whatever, because I can't find the list. She's like, no. Then I saw the list actually on the ground, and I ran like to it fast, and Anna, the instigator, Anna took up the paper and was going through the list. I was like, Anna, can I have the list please? Anna told me no. I looked at Anna like, sis, can I get the paper please? Sis told me no. So I was just like, what the hell? And then Anna carried the paper to Candy.
Why?
Like why? Like this is where my problem first started. So she carried the list to Candy. Mind you, I wasn't a bad behaved child or anything in first form. Like I was well behaved and all that. But like, you know, like the friends you keep, like, you know, like your friends change you. So like I was more quiet and what's not. But then when I linked with my friend that came from the other class, like it was pure vibes. It was like we were good. Like we kind of broke out when we both started to talk or whatever. So it was okay. But then when Anna carried the paper to the girl, when Anna carried the paper to Candy, me and Candy are in beef. Candy came to me and was like, oh, so my name is Shreese. So she's
Like, Shreese, what is this?
So I was just like, a list? Them times I was trying to act like a bad gal. So I was like, it's a list. And she's like, because you see the thing is, we would have gotten away if everybody's name wasn't next to their nickname. So it wasn't like a list of nicknames by themselves. We had the people's name right next to their nickname. So she looked on the list and she saw her name. And she's like, what is this? Why is my name Horse Arus? So then I was like, it's evident that you're a whore and that's what we're trying to call you. Still trying to act like a bad gal. Oh, my teddy fell. Did you stay up? Thank you. Ooh. Okay. So it was evident that we're trying to call you a whore. So I don't know, like I was trying to act like a bad girl. Like at this point, everybody realized like there's a scene. Like, everybody wasn't like studying us or anything, but everybody like kind of realized there was a scene being created and what's not. So Anna is over there like, oh, you all need to stop. I'm just like, Anna, you started this, now shut up. Okay, sorry about that. So Anna is like, oh, y'all need to calm down, y'all need to stop, don't fight, guys, why y'all cussing? Well, she's the one who instigated it in the first place. So I'm just like, Anna, shut up. Like, I'm so irritated at this point. So then I asked Candy, may I have the list, please? I'll discard of it now, because at that point it was like in my head that we might get detention. I was trying not to fight anything or not to cuss. So I was like, Anna, can I get it back? Because I was pretty sure that if she carried the list to the principal, I would have gotten an instant detention. So I was like, Candy, can I have back the list, please? I'm gonna discard of it right now. And I apologized to her and I told him sorry. Candy looked at me and told me no. But this is when she may get bright with me. So she told me no, and she took the paper, because I was about to rag the paper out of her hand, honestly. She took the paper. It was like a list like this. It looked like it was long like this. Like it was a long paper, and their names were here on this side. A dash was in the middle, and their actual names were there. So it was like a long paper like this. She crumpled the paper, and then she shoved it in her chest. She was like, this is the, like, said, this is the paper. She's like, and she shoved it down her chest. So I was just like, sis. Like, she probably thought I wouldn't go diving into her chest, but like I went swimming. I was just like, whoosh. So I went into her chest and I grabbed the paper out. Oh my gosh. I grabbed the paper, and like time my hand was coming back out with the paper, sis hit me in my face. Like, okay, understand me, you can hit me on my feet, you can hit me on my hands, you can hit me anyway. I don't think I would have retaliated if she did not hit me in my face, but sis was just like, this is my face, this is her hand, and she's like, in the middle right here. Like, sis didn't punch me or nothing, sis went like that. So I was just like, what? I was just like, you did not just hit me. So I was just like, okay, cool. So she was like, so she hit me at that point. I probably, in my head, it seemed as if I waited 2 minutes. In actual time, it was like 2 seconds before I whooped my hand into her face. So at that point, I hit her. So I shoved her back into the chalkboard, because we're at the back of the class and there's a chalkboard at the back and at the front of the class. So I shoved it into the wall. And she started flinging thumps. Like, she was just like this is her to my face. She's like flinging thumps. So I was just like, no. So at this point, I'm just thinking I'm getting hit at the same time. So I like pushed her into the wall, and I now started to hit her back. But at this point, I realized like the two of us would just stand up, they're hitting back each other. So then I turned and I pushed her to sit down, because there's a chair right there. So I turned and pushed her to sit down. At that point, I'm hitting her. So like she's reaching up at me, but I'm like hitting down at her, and her whole chair falls over because I'm hitting her, and the chair, she's leaning over, but I'm like not stopping. So I start throwing thumps at her, and she's on the floor at this point. So I'm over her. She got a cut on her knee also, so it was bleeding and what's not. So then now, mind you, our maths teacher passed us at first. Like, she just looked into the class, saw us arguing, and she's like, and walked off. So like, she didn't really care. But like, as I told you, our music teacher was gonna come down. Our music teacher was gonna come down and tell us when to come to class, because class had already started, but she wasn't ready for us to come. So she came to call us. When she walked into the class, like, she's a calm person. She's not somebody that will shout and drag us away from each other. When she walked into the class, she's like, ladies, stop this. No. Like, she was in the most calm mode, but we still over there fighting. People running from like 5th form, 4th form, because they're wondering like, why is this behavior in 1st form of all? So then all the people from the other class, the other 1st form, they were running to our class also, and they were wondering like, what's going on? And everybody's just watching. And I just, at one point, I felt bad, but I just didn't care, because I really didn't want to get a detention or anything. But then that's when I clicked, like when the teacher came and she separated us or whatever. and she separated us, and she's like, y'all need to one teacher. And then my maths teacher actually came back, and she came for me, and she walked me over to the benches, and she's talking to me and what's not, and they took the other girl to the office. So the maths teacher now, I was upset, so I shoved her and I walked off because I was kind of upset because yeah, like they came at me talking about I attacked her, and I didn't attack her. Like sis was the one who shoved it in her chest. She started hitting me, so I was like, you know what, it's okay, whatever. So now we're by the office because they sent us to the office to wait. Now understand that at that point my principal was the scariest person to me. Our principal, like at first she's like because we're in first form, she has to think about how much days she's gonna give us for suspension or whatever. I did not want a suspension because I could not go home to my mother. My mother's from the Caribbean. I could not go home to my mother until I got suspended because I'd be dragged, okay? So I was like thinking to all day. It took me all day. I wrote 3 apology letters by myself. I wrote 3 apology letters. I wrote one for the teacher that I shoved because the teacher went inside the office and told the other teacher that she was shoved. I wrote one to my homeroom teacher for making her class have a bad reputation. Well, not a bad reputation, but making her class be known that we were the first fight for that entire school year. So after that, now I wrote one to the principal, and I apologized for the whole fight. So she lessened our 3-day suspension to a 1-day suspension, because she was like, if it wasn't for the letter or anything, she would have suspended us for 3 days, but she would just do for 1. Now, I did not know how suspensions went at that time also. So that was the whole fight or whatever. So I didn't know how suspensions went. So I thought that I would be suspended and I could just go back to school. Like, I had to bring my parents and all that. So my thought was, I'm not going to tell my mom about the suspension since it's 1 day. I was gonna either act sick. I was like it was Friday, so Monday would be the suspension, and then Tuesday I'd go back to school. So I was like, okay, I'ma just pretend like I don't, like I'm sick or something and not go to school, or I would dress to go to school and then go into town. Boy, was I wrong. I went into town with my mom the afternoon after school because I had to get something for class on Thursday. So we went into town to go and get it. There, Candy was coming up the road. Mind you, me and Candy already, like, oh yes, after us being in the office. At this point, we end up talking back because the principal said if we didn't talk and if any problems came back with the 2 of us, we'd be suspended for the full length of suspension this time. So we ended up talking and we actually became friends, actually. Like, I found that she was a really nice person and we started talking and what's not. I honestly only talked to her at that point to get out the office. So as I was saying, me and my mom were down the road in town trying to get something for me to eat and trying to get something for the class on Thursday. So now I had the suspension paper in my bag. I did not show my mom because I wasn't going to tell her about it. So this girl, Candy, saw me and my mom in town. Candy ran up. I'm just like, sis, don't want to talk to me. So at this point, I already thought she was going to bring up the whole suspension thing. Like, I did say, no, I don't even think I told her that I wasn't going to tell my mom anything. But I'm just like, sis, don't. So then she's looking and she comes and she's like, oh, I actually saw you. Is this your mommy or whatever? I'm just like, yes it is. Candy starts spilling her guts at that point. I'm just like looking at her. I'm just like, I'm there with my eyes like, Like, anybody could have read your eyes. Like, go away. Like, just go away. Don't bring up anything. So then she's like, did you tell your mommy you got suspended today? I was just like, sis, you're happy? Like, shut up. Like, no. But sis was like, did you tell your mommy we got suspended today? I'm just like, it's like, well, thank you very freaking much. I was just like, thank you very much. I was like, thanks, because now she knows. Then at that point, my mom turned to me and it went downhill from there. Like, she didn't drag me anything, but like, understand that she wasn't upset or anything because she knew that me and that girl weren't talking. Well, she didn't know the girl, but I always said I did not like this girl. And I explained to her what exactly happened. And she was upset that I lied to her actually. That I didn't lie to her, I just didn't tell her at all. So then now, my mom was chill. That's the first time. Like, I expected to be dragged and hanged to the cross. But, hanged? What the heck did I just say? Hung to the cross. But then, like, she didn't do anything. So what she did, like, she just talked about it straight. Like, when I tell you all, up until, like, second form, I heard that story for a year. I heard that story for a year before she stopped talking about it. Like, my mom will bring this up while she's cussing me. She'd be like, oh, stop it. And you love to fight at school. Just like, okay. But she got over it eventually. That was like 7 years ago. 7 or 6. 7, yeah. It was around this time actually. It was around this time that the girl came to school actually. Because we're in May, I think. Yeah, but like, that was my first fight. Like, kids don't fight. But like, I didn't expect all those consequences to come from that. I thought I was just dealing with the girl because she was irritating my soul. But I learned from that. But I still went back and did it again. Which is another story time. So thanks for watching my first story time, guys. And stay tuned because I have another special story time for you guys next week also. And remember to like and subscribe, guys. Remember to like and subscribe and leave a comment down below. So yes, guys, because today is International Women's Day, I appreciate all my subscribers. My channel isn't growing as fast as I would like it to, but I am very thankful. I get a lot of good and bad feedback. Well, no, I get a lot of good feedback and sometimes some bad feedback, but it's not like all the time I get bad feedback. Like probably once or twice, but I really appreciate the people who, oh my gosh, I really appreciate the people who are supporting me. And I don't want to call y'all subscribers because y'all are people. I more like to call y'all supporters and people who like have been there from since day one. I really appreciate it. And I also wanted to do a giveaway since today's Women's Day. So this prize is for girls. Well, it's not gonna be on my next video. I will not be giving it away. It'll be on the second video. You have to okay, so I'm gonna give the rules of how you can enter next story time that I do, which should be coming soon. I will be announcing the winner before my video. So I'm putting the rules down below and I will announce the winners. If there's a tie, then yeah, I will give it to the two persons. But comment done under this video, no other video but this one. Comment done with your name. So bye, guys.